Good afternoon. How are you? Well, it's a little chilly, 44, but it feels colder because we have a wind chill factor of about, I don't know, it feels like 5 miles an hour. So that's the Thomas Jefferson weather report for the day. The country and the world really have some pretty serious problems, and you can feel shifting sands, and it's not exactly clear where they'll turn out, either in America or worldwide, in our international relations and the hostilities that exist around the world right now. And it wasn't helped by the fact that Trump told Russia to do whatever it can against our allies in NATO. And this is a terrible state of affairs when we and NATO's members have profited by this association in terms of security and other policies. So when Trump tells Russia to have as it will whatever it wants against our allies, he's really betraying America, not just our allies. And that's something to be concerned about. So when he tells NATO, do what you will against NATO, that's a pretty serious problem. Now, Estonia's prime minister is wanted by the Russian Interior Ministry, and they have a criminal charge against her for taking down 200 to 400 Soviet monuments. I think I could understand why Estonia would want to do that, and it is Estonia's business, not Russia's. But Russia has issued this criminal charge, and it's to coerce and denigrate Estonia's efforts. And I can't help but think that the environment for such initiative by Russia has been helped by Trump in recent days. And if you think about it, even when he was president, he would always bend backwards for Russia over, for example, Ukraine. So this is a pretty dangerous set of facts. And you could say that what's going on with Estonia is an effort to limit the expression of a nation state that can justify within its borders why it is concerned about these Soviet memorials, these monuments. Now, Green has had her own snit fit about criticisms of conservatives. On this show that's on TV about Curb Your Enthusiasm, I guess it's Larry David on the show, described conservatives as racist and rednecks. Oh, and she resents that. It's interesting to watch Republicans, on the one hand, lie to us, mislead us, claim it's true when it's not, and then try to stifle the free speech of an entertainer, really. Curb Your Enthusiasm. Now, Biden has weighed in as well on the international issue in this sense. He was applauding the bipartisan cooperation in the Senate to vote for funds for Ukraine and Israel. And he's asking, who stayed up until late in this morning, I suppose, crafting this bill, which required both Republicans and Democrats to agree. Now, over in the House, there appears to be Republican and Democratic support for the bill, but the Speaker, Johnson, won't put it up for a vote. He intends to put up for a vote whether or not they should impeach the head of DHS. Talk about a House that's in disorder. Not that we didn't think that already about the kind of leadership we could expect from the new Republican Speaker. Now, there are other things going on that are kind of interesting. In the district formerly headed by the unsaintly Santos, there's a special election today. Of course, that special election today in New York is concerned about snow as well. In fact, I didn't get out yesterday because of the rain here, which overnight turned to snow and mist, and then rain, and now sunshine. But in New York, I think that one of the forecasts was 6 inches, which means a lot in the city. although this is the 3rd district, and I don't know how suburban it is, but I suspect that it is. And the candidates for it, the Democrat, is a guy named Tom Suozzi, who held the seat before, but gave it up to run for governor unsuccessfully. So he's back again now. And there's a Republican candidate as well. Now, it could be that the Democrat is favored, particularly given the history. The significance of this race is that it could put more pressure on the Republicans because it will narrow their advantage in the House. Also, it may be a good indicator of what we can expect about certain issues. You know, for example, the migrant issue, abortion, and guns. I had a conversation in my office with one of our lawyers, and he lives in West Virginia. And I asked him, so what's the big issue in West Virginia? He said, oh, the borders. I said, what border are they concerned about? The Mexican border. So you don't have to have the border, apparently, in an election for it to be a factor. So we'll see how that works out. The question about farms, well, as you know, I sort of follow these issues: soil, water, farms, sustenance, global warming, and I know something about it. I don't consider myself an expert, but I am informed. And apparently our farms between 2017 and 2022 there are fewer farms, and the farms are larger. For example, 2017 they were 441 acres, and now they're 463 acres. And these large mega farms bring with them bad practices in terms of how they take care of the waste product particularly, and how they insulate where they put the waste product in reference to nearby bodies of water. And so then we suffer twofer. We get a bad product in the food, and I'm a vegetarian or vegan a lot, and we also, though, don't handle the waste well, so we're suffering on that score as well. Have to give a mention to Israel, because they're bombs away and people are feeling squeezed, and particularly in the Rafah version. Apologies for pronunciation if I don't have that right, because I haven't heard it, but I read it in the papers. And the indication is that Israel is rushing to flatten the earth of anybody in Hamas or anybody who's a sympathizer, and in the bargain, men, women, and children are being caught up. And it's not enough that during these struggles, I think they freed 2 hostages the other day. And the question is, at what cost? And I think the answer is a substantial one. So I am in my cathedral of trees, and it's gorgeous. And you know, I actually do see some leaves on this road, which is kind of cool. So if you look, you'll see that we're gathering a little green, maybe in time for St. Patrick's Day. And don't forget your Valentine tomorrow, or you'll be in trouble. Bye-bye.